Okay, welcome back to our Facebook Live tours. Thanks for joining us all day long. This is our final tour of the day, and it is Logically Continuing Education. So we support lifelong learning at Michener, and after you've done one of our full-time programs, or if you're a healthcare professional, you'll want to look into continuing education. We have so many different options for you, and we're going to pass it over to them to help explain what options there are and talk about their courses.
Excellent. So we have Jane here, one of our managers in continuing education. So Jane, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you've got set up here and how you set up a course like this?
Sure. So this is actually a simulation arm, and we use this arm for a variety of workshops. This one is actually set up for venipuncture, or it might be known as phlebotomy, but we also use the same arms for IV insertion and contrast injection. So those workshops are all delivered with an online component, and then they come in and do a hands-on day where they actually get to practice and achieve a competency. So this is one of the ways that we deliver our courses. Another more prominent and is seen throughout the CE department is our online delivery. And these courses, we have over 90 of them, and they are offered in a variety of different ways. We have continuous enrollment where students can sign up for a course. There's lots of flexibility. It fits into your own schedule. You can take it and complete that course in whatever time frame you like. Or we have our fixed courses, which are more associated with our certificate programs. And our certificate programs offer, again, lots of flexibility. We offer courses on a semester-wise basis, and we can take them over a period of time to complete the certificate. And then, of course, then our workshops are, this is one form of our workshop, a hybrid, more likely workshop. And then across the hall, we have others that will be a more simulated, face-to-face only workshop that, you come in that day, you work through the learning, you work through your practicing, and you achieve your competency.
Jane, can you say a little bit more about what the benefit or value add is for learning online would be?
I think the thing that we have found over the years, when continuing education really first began, we supported the applied health sciences with a variety of courses that were either correspondence or straight workshop. And over the years, as technology improved, we moved our courses online, and that allowed people from all across Canada, we even have international learners, join our courses, and they can do it from the comfort of their own home. They can make it fit their schedule. They don't need to have a specific time to be online. It just became a really attractive and an excellent way for learners across the country to participate.
Also, you've got a really great setup here with a piece of an arm and a setup here that simulates a live environment. So what would some of the benefits be for learning in a simulated environment for a continuing professional development kind of opportunity?
It's a great opportunity because you do obviously get to practice, and you get to practice where you're not, potentially pushing the boundaries with a patient, but you get to achieve that practice time and then that actual competency. And you have, oftentimes we have very controlled numbers so that people have a chance to really get that interaction and that feedback from the instructor so that you can really confidently reach that competency.
What other kinds of courses and program opportunities do you have available in continuing education?
What kind of, sorry?
Courses and workshops and content areas.
We cover all. We have the, like I said before, originally we supported all of the applied health sciences, and that has been sort of our original bread and butter. But now that we've had an integration with UHN, we've joined and we've made all these great relationships. So now we're reaching out to not only meet nursing needs, we can meet physician needs, and we're really expanding so that it's not even just clinical, but we move into leadership, we move into research, we move into management. So it's very broad, and we try to reach the needs of all of our professionals out there.
How can I go about learning more about our programs in continuing education, and how can I register for them?
I would say go to the website, the www.michener.ca/CE. That's the best way to find out all of your information that you need. And most of our courses, especially the online courses, all have online registration. So it's really easy. You just, once you find the course in our course list, you just scroll to the bottom of the page, register, and it'll take you directly to the student portal, and it'll get you all registered into the course. Your payment is secure. Other than having a active email address, that's about all that we need. So it's very, very easy.
Fantastic. Thank you, Jane.
And if you go across the hall, you'll see some more simulation with other equipment that is used in our primary and critical care programs.
So if you're not picked for residency, they also give you a list of potential places you can look for apartments?
There is online. They do have like where you can either find like.
So we talked about our simulation program opportunities, and here we are in a setup where we have a lot of our advanced life support programs, and we're joined by Michelle Morgan, one of our lovely program assistants in continuing education. Michelle, can you say a few words about what you've got set up here and how a program like this works at Michener?
Okay, so today we have set up examples of the types of simulation equipment we use and the simulation setups that we use in our 2-day or 1-day workshops. Our courses are advanced life support. They fall under the auspices of the Heart and Stroke Foundation. All of our instructors are Heart and Stroke certified instructors. If you are looking to take an advanced life support course, which would include advanced cardiac life support, pediatric advanced life support, pairs, basic life support, also CPR. They're all things that you can take here at Michener. They're all things that you can come in, experience, and do the simulation and have hands-on experience to achieve the competencies as laid out by Heart and Stroke. For example, we have various different mannequins that we use for various different workshops. For our adult simulation-based workshops, we have adult simulation mannequins that we use. In this case, these are Megacode Kellys, and they will make noises and help to create a more realistic experience for our students. And we also have the associated equipment that would be found with this mannequin: defibrillators, simulators, and IV poles, bag valve masks, anything that would correspond to what a healthcare professional working in an environment where they would be called upon to assist and be part of a team dealing with Megacode. So the simulation itself, we have small groups, 6 students to 1 Heart and Stroke instructor. In the morning of our courses, our students work through their skills. So we have some skills stations set up here at the back, which we'll look at shortly, where students practice intubating mannequins, they practice using IO, they practice BLS skills, which is very, very important, to name a few. Once those skills have been practiced and mastered, the Heart and Stroke instructors, your group will move on to actually working through a Megacode scenario. The day one, the Heart and Stroke instructors are there to coach and assist and help the team and your role based on your scope of practice through the scenario. And then the second day, we move people along to actually working through the scenario and the Megacode as a team on their own with less coaching, let's say, from the Heart and Stroke instructors. It's very hands-on, it's very interactive. It also allows everyone to have the opportunity to work with the mannequins, whether it's CPR skills they're practicing, whether it's bag valve mask, whether they're intubating, whatever the case might be, they get to practice and work as a team just as you would in the hospital setting. At the end of the 2-day workshop, there are certain criteria that have to be met for heart and stroke. Example, a written exam is done by all students participating, as well as practical assessment. So you basically would come into the room and it's a mega code, and you'd work through it with your team without the heart stroke instructor telling you or assisting you with what to do. We have found that from feedback from our students that the hands-on and working with simulation is very beneficial, because they can come in and feel comfortable. They can make mistakes in the beginning, and they can work through those, and they can look at how other members of their team that have come from other hospitals perhaps and have different levels of experience would work through the situation and the scenario.
Great. Michelle, you talked a little bit about what happens toward the end of the course around assessment. What would I need as a healthcare professional as a prerequisite before even registering for an advanced life support program like ACLS or PALS?
You have to have a heart and stroke basic life support card. It has to be issued by Heart and Stroke, and it has to be current, so it has to be issued within the 12 months of which you're taking the course. Basic life support is the building blocks. It's where everybody should start before they move on to an advanced life support course. Basic life support is incorporated into our advanced life support because it is so important to the outcome of the patient. So I would suggest, if you're thinking about taking an ACLS or PALS and you do not have a heart and stroke BLS card or have taken a course, please look at our website. We offer them Friday evenings, a couple of times a month. They're about 4.5 hours. Again, we have heart and stroke instructors that run the BLS. And as you can see from the skills station at the back, which actually is a representation of a BLS skills station, we actually use mannequins, adult torso mannequins, baby, so you're learning adult BLS as well as pediatric BLS, and we have using mannequins that have a feedback mechanism. So as you're doing the BLS, as you're doing your compressions, there's feedback, little lights on the mannequin that will give you an indication if you're going fast enough and hard enough, and whether you meet the competency for BLS.
Fantastic. Looks like we've got an online question coming in from Tim, and he was wondering if there's a possibility to bring any of these workshops to his clinic.
Absolutely. We, as I said, we run the workshops here at Michener, but we will also come to you. We'll come to clinics, we'll come to hospitals, and we will work with you and your group to see what works best for you and how we can bring the course to you. If you're interested in something like that, then just shoot us an email, ce@michener.ca. We'll get back to you and we can talk to you about where you are, what you're looking for, and we'll work with you to make this happen and bring it to you.
Fantastic. Thanks, Michelle. So this is wrapping up our live feed or live stream for the continuing education portion of today's open house, and wrapping up the live streams for our Michener open house broadly. Thanks for joining us today. Pleasure to have you chiming in and to hear from us about our programs. You've got a lot of fantastic opportunities to learn to become a new healthcare professional or to continue your professional development and continuing education as you advance throughout your career, and to pick up new skills that will help you stay current and also help you to contribute to healthcare in a way that is innovative and up to date. So thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you at Michener in whatever capacity in the coming months. All the best.